Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. First responders from Schuyler EMS and Cayuga Health spent multiple nights in Buffalo last week helping those in the snowstorm. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg speaks with emergency workers to find out what kind of help they were able to provide.
Local Schuyler County heroes have returned after helping the people of Buffalo during the deadly blizzard last week. Big Fox spoke with Schuyler County Administrator Fonda Cronus about sending a team of first responders to Erie County.
It was a pretty easy request, and we were very happy to be able to assist. As the second smallest county in the state, to be able to help one of the larger ones was kind of a nice ego boost for us. But also, in the end, we're all about helping people, and if we can help people, that's what we should do, and we were happy to send the team over.
The first responders were in Buffalo for 3 days helping transport people to medical centers. 3 Schuyler County fire departments also sent teams to Buffalo to help clear snow.
If I remember the tally correctly, I think they answered about 50 calls and transported about 50 patients to wherever they needed to be transported to, which was just outstanding. A wonderful job by the team.
Schuyler EMS is a brand new emergency medical service in Schuyler County that helps reach people in more rural parts of the county quicker. Cronus said he looks forward to being able to help other New Yorkers in need if the time arrives again. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Schuyler County.
Over 30,000 tickets issued in New York during the state police's holiday crackdown. The High Visibility campaign ran from December 14th to January 1st. Here in the Southern Tier, over 2,000 tickets were given out, including 23 DWI arrests. According to state police officials, the goal of the campaign was to improve highway safety by focusing on impaired drivers and slowing down motorists. An Owego man arrested for allegedly killing his own mother. According to the Tioga County Sheriff's Office, the department had received a call requesting to check on the welfare of 78-year-old Phyllis Cavazzi. That was earlier in the week. When officers arrived, Ms. Cavazzi was deceased with indications of a disturbance. Well, Phyllis's son, James Cavazzi, was arrested yesterday for causing the death of his own mother and is facing murder charges. That investigation is still ongoing. Senator Bob Casey reveals he's been diagnosed with prostate cancer. The 62-year-old Democrat from Pennsylvania announcing the news on social media, writing he was diagnosed in December. I can report that I have an excellent prognosis, as well as the benefit of exceptional medical care and the unwavering support of my family, he wrote. Casey said he will undergo surgery in the coming months and is expected to fully recover. He said he looks forward to getting back to work soon. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin has shown what physicians treating him are calling remarkable improvement over the past 24 hours, according to a report by the team. Stephen Goen has more from Cincinnati.
What's your message to Damar Hamlin and his family?
I spoke to his mother and father at night.
Support for Damar Hamlin pouring in from fans, fellow players, even the White House. The Buffalo Bills safety collapsed after suffering cardiac arrest on the field during Monday night's game here in Cincinnati. He remains in critical condition, but Thursday brought good news. His physicians say he's shown what they call remarkable improvement over the past 24 hours. The Bills writing in a statement, quote, while he's still critically ill, he's demonstrated that he appears to be neurologically intact.
He is beginning to awaken, and it appears that his neurological condition and function is intact.
Hamlin's agents also say he's opened his eyes and he's gripping the hands of family members. While his fans wait for more news, they're showing their solidarity by flooding his holiday toy drive with support, raising more than $7 million since Monday night.
Damar would want to use this to help other people. He would hate for all this attention to just be on him and there not be a positive outcome.
Meanwhile, doctors are asking hard questions about whether this tragedy could have been avoided. Some are pushing for new rules to limit unsafe tackles, while others say it's the nature of the game.
I think there are probably some subtle tweaks they can do to equipment, but I think that at a violent sport, you're never going to eliminate the risk.
Now, the Bills are scheduled to return to practice on Thursday for the first time since Hamlin's collapse. In Cincinnati, Stephen Goen, Fox News.
A Requiem Mass for Pope Emeritus Benedict in St. Peter's Square, presided over by Pope Francis, making him the first pope in modern history to officiate the funeral of his predecessor. Lauren Green has more from Vatican City.
Outside the Vatican, tens of thousands of mourners gathered to pay tribute to former Pope Benedict XVI, who died December 31st at age 95. Presiding over the funeral, Pope Francis, marking the first time in modern church history that a sitting pope celebrated the funeral mass of his predecessor.
Nostra autatissimus ad sacra mysteria celebranda.
The historic service drew heads of state and royalty, though only Italy and Germany were invited to send official delegations.
It's a beautiful experience, but also it's humbling for me, as a priest, to get to have this experience in Rome.
Benedict, who was elected pope in 2005 and who Pope Francis praised as gentle, became the first pope in 600 years to resign when he announced in 2013 he no longer had the strength to lead the Catholic Church.
It was shocking. No pope had resigned for ages unending, you know.
In keeping with Pope Benedict's wishes, his remains will be placed in the crypt once occupied by the tomb of John Paul II, which was later moved to the main basilica. In Washington, Malda Rivera, Fox News.
The city of Elmira has signed legislation declaring every December 6th moving forward as Ernie Davis Day. The proclamation was headed by the initiative of local Elmira Youth Court member Isabella Griffin. Ernie Davis was an Elmira native and football player who went on to be the first African-American to win the Heisman Trophy on December 6, 1961. Davis lost a battle with leukemia shortly after in 1963. An alternative to traditional burials is now legal in New York State. Governor Hochul signing new legislation that will legalize human composting as a burial method. Human composting is a burial method where the deceased is laid to rest directly in the ground. The bill acts as another part of the state's plan to reduce carbon emissions. New York now becomes the 6th state to legalize human composting. Actor Jeremy Renner's recovery continues as he receives a spa day at the hospital. The actor posting to social media on Today that a not-so-great day turned into a spa day with his mother and sister. In the video, you can hear the actor saying he had his first shower in a week or so as he received a head massage. Renner is recovering from 2 surgeries after being injured by a snowplow on New Year's Day near his Nevada home. Your complete forecast is next, plus this.
Southwest Airlines is still trying to reunite passengers with lost bags. I'm Grady Trimble with Fox Business. Coming up, the latest on that process and what you can do to keep track of your checked bag on your next trip. That's next.
Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Well, it has felt like winter is nearly non-existent, especially with the 50s that have been consistent from December now into January, this first week of January, from Sunday into Wednesday. There was only one day where we didn't see our high temperature in those 50s, and we saw that again today into those lower 50s. Now, there are some changes ahead, but overall not too extremely wintry, maybe a few days that we may keep temperatures closer to average. Now, we did work in some sunshine today, allowing for a very pleasant Thursday, but we will see some changes here as we step through the overnight. We'll see that we are looking at some increasing cloud cover, and with the mild temperatures we've been experiencing and the southerly wind that is going to be tapping in through the overnight, that's going to keep temperatures holding above the freezing mark, which means that much of the Elmira and Corning area is expecting to stay mostly rainfall, as there will be some weak shortwaves moving on through the area. So as we look at our temperature wise, these are our lows across the entire region. We see a few areas here that are able to climb down, or should I say fall down to that freezing mark. Some areas might be cool enough in the morning here off to the west to see the potential of some snow showers as we head into Friday morning. But for the most part here, again, temperatures are going to be much more warmer than we would typically see this time of the year. So it's looking like some light rain shower. Maybe a few hundredths of an inch up to a tenth of an inch possible. Not going to be soaking. Pretty disorganized system. It's lost a lot of its energy and its juice from earlier this week. So just some light precipitation there as the mild weather will hold on. We'll see cooler than we've been experiencing due to the lack of sunshine, and we'll hold to those lower 40s. So rolling into the forecast, you're seeing a lot of reflectivities of blue. Again, that's going to be well into the upper atmosphere. There's some cooler, and the surface temperatures is what's going to change over that precipitation over to rainfall. So a cold rainfall is what we will will be dealing with some areas of some maybe wintry mix, some snow showers possible, more off to the west of Elmira and Corning. We'll take a look at those accumulations here in a moment. But most of that precipitation there comes through the morning hours, gone by about the evening, and then we'll see that we do usher into some pretty quiet conditions. As we head into Saturday morning, there could be a few snow showers that may be possible Saturday morning, even wintry mix possible. Again, not much for accumulation. So from this first system that's coming into our Friday morning and then also into Saturday morning, overall, when you look at accumulation, pretty minimal for the most part. Temperatures, one, will be too warm. And then when it comes to any of those snow showers that are able to develop off of the lakes, it is pretty minimal for any accumulation. So not talking about high impacts, but want to make sure maybe you have those dry layers, the umbrella handy. Again, as mentioned, we will top off into those 40s. Cooler than we've been experiencing, but still above average by nearly 10 degrees. We'll head into Saturday's forecast with some areas of some clearing, but we do see that we'll start the day with mostly cloudy skies and 31 degrees. So still pretty mild, but then we work in some of that sunshine and we'll stay near seasonal and then continue to keep a pretty quiet weather pattern even as we head into much of next week with some more cooling that could be ahead.
Amazon, the latest company to announce major layoffs, workers becoming less ambitious in their careers, and a new Spotify feature for the new year. CJ Papa has those stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
Amazon adding to a recent wave of job cuts in the tech sector. The company announcing they'll be cutting around 18,000 positions. That's the largest number in company history. A majority of the cuts will impact Amazon's brick and mortar stores, including Amazon Fresh and Amazon Go. Amazon has 1.5 million employees across the globe. A new report by the Wall Street Journal saying workers are now less career-oriented and bosses are having to adjust. In a survey of 3,000 workers, 36% say their ambitions have declined over the last 3 years. According to the report, companies aren't able to fill promotions as quickly. The report finding that many employers want more work out of their employees, but those employees want better pay. Meanwhile, the number of young people seeking jobs in skilled trades like plumbing, construction, and electrical work dropping by 49% compared to 2020. That's according to the online recruiting platform Handshake. Researchers at Handshake say the number of applicants for these roles has been cut in half over the past 3 years. This as the creation of technical positions continues to grow. Combined with an aging workforce, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is now warning of a massive shortage of skilled workers coming this year. At Spotify, revealing a new feature, a playlist time capsule. Users can fill out a playlist by using song titles as answers to questions, such as a song that reminds you of your favorite person. The feature is available until January 31st and will then be locked until January 2024. That's business. I'm CJ Papa.
As fallout continues over Southwest's recent meltdown, many customers are still without their luggage following the airline's mass cancellations. Grady Trimble has more on Southwest plans to return luggage to customers and also what people are doing to prevent losing their luggage again.
If passengers haven't arranged to pick up their bags at the airport themselves, Southwest is shipping them. They're using FedEx, UPS, even volunteers to get them to passengers. Southwest wouldn't tell me the total number of lost bags they've dealt with during the holiday operational meltdown, but they do expect to have all bags shipped before the end of the week. After that, customers should get them in a matter of days. In addition to doling out refunds and reimbursements, reuniting passengers with their lost bags is just one more huge expense for Southwest Airlines.
When nobody in the baggage sort area knows what flights are operating, what flights are not operating, or where the customer is, we have a real cocktail for total confusion here. And we're talking tens of millions of dollars to try to sort it out. We're probably looking at $300 to $400 a bag trying to get it back to the customer. Then again, we have the other issue of lost bags. Some bags will never be seen on this planet again.
Because nobody wants their checked bag lost forever, a lot of frequent flyers are taking matters into their own hands using these Apple AirTags to track their luggage. In fact, Google searches for AirTags for luggage have increased drastically over the past several weeks. And over on Amazon, the #1 selling item in the electronics section right now, you guessed it, Apple AirTags.
Southwest Airlines is trying to get back in the good graces of its customers after canceling thousands of flights over the holidays. The airline is giving 25,000 reward points to travelers who were affected by the major disruption. And the offer applies to travelers whose flights were canceled or delayed for more than 3 hours between December 24th and January 2nd. The points have a value of more than $300. Southwest canceled thousands of flights daily between December 22nd and January 1st, blaming winter weather. Still ahead, the Justice Department files a brief with the U.S. Supreme Court arguing that the Education Secretary has the authority to provide student loan forgiveness. Plus, scientists have developed a vaccine that could potentially both kill and prevent brain cancer from returning. That story and more coming up. The Justice Department is defending President Biden's student loan relief plan. The DOJ filed a brief with the U.S. Supreme Court late Wednesday, arguing that the Education Secretary has the authority to provide student loan forgiveness. President Biden announced student debt forgiveness back in August. Borrowers making less than $125,000 a year could get up to $10,000 forgiven, while Pell Grant recipients could get up to $20,000 forgiven. The student debt relief plan is on hold due to legal challenges. Listen to this medical news. Scientists have developed a vaccine that could potentially both kill and prevent brain cancer from returning. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital developed this new cell therapy that helps eliminate established tumors and promotes long-term immunity to brain cancer. The method trains the immune system to prevent cancer from recurring. Investigators tested their vaccine in advanced mouse models and had very promising results. Further research is needed, though, before this even gets close to the marketplace. A new study finds too much social media can affect children's brains, making them addicted to likes. Researchers from the University of North Carolina say during this critical development time for the brain, children are more sensitive to social media feedback in the forms of likes, shares, tags, and comments. This creates excitement to addictively check their phones, taking an activity they could positively or negatively be involved in. Researchers cited a previous study that revealed 78% of teens check their phone, listen to this, 15 times a day, many constantly on Instagram and Snapchat looking for those reactions on their posts. A new study from the University College London finds commuting to work is better for your mental health. Research shows those who travel more than 15 miles are more likely to regularly see family and friends while also visiting places frequently. Living in rural areas without much access to transportation has negative impacts on well-being, especially for adults over 55 who suffer from loneliness more than younger people. There is help on the way for parents who are tired of pushing around a baby stroller. A Canadian startup has developed a self-driving stroller. You heard that correctly, for the price of, get this, $3,300. The Ella Smart stroller will be unveiled at this year's Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. The stroller can drive itself, but only when a baby is not inside. It has a max speed of 4 miles per hour and uses sensors and cameras to navigate and monitor its surroundings. The company expects the stroller to hit the market later this year. Facebook's parent company, Meta, fined millions by the European Union for privacy violations. EU regulators fining the company $414 million for breaches of the General Data Protection Regulation relating to both Facebook and Instagram. Regulators also ruling that the company cannot force users in the bloc to agree to personalized ads on their platforms. Meta saying they plan to appeal the fines and ruling. If you have dreams of designing your own Lego set, this is your chance. The company is giving fans the opportunity to compete to create a limited edition set. Up to 5 winners could see their sets produced by Lego and sold worldwide. They'll even get paid by getting 5% of the profits. Stay with us. We've got more coming up. And of course, we want to leave you with a smile. Listen to this. Super-sized inflatables, including giant lizards, flying spaceships, filled the streets of Santiago on Tuesday. This was an event organized by local authorities and a French artistic company to launch the show titled Saurian and the Witnesses of Outer Space. The show marks the beginning of a week-long festival of cultural events throughout the Chilean capital. The country's president and his partner watched the show from a balcony of the presidential palace. I'm Harriet Wallace. Thanks so much for watching.